Hello, and welcome to a Smite tier list maker of abilities. This is going to be part 2 of the Hunters. Now, before we get into this, we've already covered the Guardians, and we're now going to be covering the Hunters. I will briefly go over again in case somebody has, well, in case I've forgotten, or in case I haven't uploaded it, what each tier means. E tier is a god I want removed from the game. D tier is a god who I think is currently in the wrong role. C tier is a god who I think needs some work done to make them perfect. B tier, they're fine, don't do anything to them. A tier, they could do with a little bit of a nerf. And S tier, could you rework, remove, or just do something with them? Because they don't seem to add up. 3, 2, 1, let's see Hunters. Ooh. Now the Hunters are actually quite nice and well balanced, and we're just going to go straight into this. Chernaborg, or Chernaborg, or whatever the hell he is. There's only one problem I have with him, and that's his ult. I won't mention his other abilities, because they all seem to flow in tangent. His ult just doesn't really work. Fly up into the air, and latch onto an enemy across the map. Doesn't stun them, just teleports to them. Similarly to that like of an Athena, but teleports to them. Now, this could be used as a brilliant tactic to go and attack somebody at the base. But then again, can it really be that effective? The amount of times I've actually fought against a Chernaborg, and as being a solo or a jungle, potentially, and he teleports to me thinking he can kill me, and I end up killing him. Because the problem is it warns you when he's coming towards you. For me, the only thing I could say about Chernaborg is that his ult is insanely weird. Half the time it works, and half the time it doesn't. Now, of course, I will mention his other abilities. He has a line shot, which, when it hits with his chrysalis sort of looking thing, does a lot of damage, and he can fly into a wall and jump back out. He's got a good dash, good stun, and a good damage. But his ult just doesn't seem to really do much. Of course, his basic attack, with the Hunters, I will talk about their basic attack. A lot of them are relatively the same. He just does seem to be pretty decent. But his ult is a 50-50 chance of it working. And if he doesn't use his ult, he'll land back on exactly where he was stood. Can't really mention too much more about him, other than his ult could be used a little bit of tweaking. How exactly? Maybe don't warn the person you're coming to spawn on them. But then, over. Okay. Rama. Rama is probably one of my favourite hunters, because he is a very easy, simplistic to use god, and he is very fun to play. Arrow piercing, increase attack speed, good jump away ability. The problem I have with Rama is one of the two problems you will find with hunters. Delayed reaction and started where you finished where you started. And delayed reaction is Rama's ult again. Like Chernaborg, I think these are the only two gods in the game who I think could have a rework with their ults. And it was, he throws his bow up into the air and eventually jumps up in the air to grab it. Of course, that does take a good second, and you can kill him when he's on the floor. Believe me, I know, I've done it. But for me, it's he shoots his 3 arrows. I think this is a very good idea. He doesn't fly through the air. He just shoots his 3 arrows. The problem you have is when he drops back down on the floor. True, he can jump away, but a lot of the time with Rama, once you see him go up into the air, you go, alright, everybody gather around this one location, because he's coming back down. I don't know how you can fix this, but it does seem to be like a Fafnir sort of ability. As soon as Fafnir is done with his ult, he lands down on the ground, he's like, right, I'm now a giant drat dead. Rama, the amount of times I've seen him go up, shoot his 3 arrows, drop back down, 5 people stood around him, and he's dead. But no, with Rama, it's not. Maybe he has like a little bit of invulnerability when he drops, but not really much you could do to help him, the poor fellow. Right, B tier. Storming through the hunters, because there's a problem going on up at the top. Muzenkarb, yeah, he's beastie. The only problem I would have with him would be his beehives. His beehives counting as a ward when they're destroyed. A little bit annoying. His ult, very effective. When it hits somebody and he picks it up again, it halves the amount of cooldown. He is a very sort of nick sort of damage, like a small annoyance. Takes off small amounts of damage, like a poison effect. That's all of his abilities. He can become top damage very quickly due to this. But then again, does this make him broken? No, doesn't. His aura from his movement speed, from his hives, he gets health and movement speed. But of course, with a Musenkab, you kill the beehives, or sorry, a Musenkab. He calls himself Amasenkab, so I'll call him that. Kill the beehives, and the bee dies. Arthur is he's a love-hate relationship. His ult is insanely damaging in a 1v1, probably one of the most effective ults in the game. His jump is very strong, lands on a person, pushes them up into the air. He throws his javelin at you and it knocks you away, very nice. And his pillar is very useful as a slowdown, stop people getting away. He actually works very well as a hunter, because hunters need to cause damage, they can stun. The only thing I have a question with him is, why does he have a javelin throw that pushes people away from him? When you're fighting someone and then you throw your javelin and it knocks them away and they just walk away. And I still remember the first time I played him, I was fighting someone, whacked him with a spear, pushed him back into his own tower, and he just walked off to the base. And I went, didn't think that one through. Artemis is interesting. Her her attack speed increase with her bow is very nice. Her arrows from heaven are very strong. Her little traps, while easy to see and can't be destroyed, are very nice. But her pig is a stun, and it's just the only problem I have with Artemis is the range of the stun. Now it's like Zeus's ability: connect, done. And it's just actually very annoying to fight against that. When you're fighting against a hunter who can stun you, it is quite annoying. And the pig is very good at stunning you. And of course, it can chain off multiple people. The reason why she's not up higher on this list is because she's actually one of the few hunters who doesn't have a runaway ability. Now, for a Musenkab has a slow ability, and of course has a movement speed increase when he's in his ability. But she doesn't really seem to have any ability that can use to make her run away. That's why she's B tier. Cernanos, another good example of a perfectly well-balanced hunter. He has a passive square ability as well, changes the seasons of his ability. He has a latch in place, which is thorns, where he throws it and just jags up people and, like brambles, stops them from moving. His dash is very useful, and his ult, which we'll get onto the mages very soon. His ult can turn people into animals and is very effective. That he's the only god who can do. We'll get onto that one later. But to be honest, he does damage. He can run away. And he has a lifesteal, which really isn't that potent. But he's very effective. Nice. Hachiman. My second favourite. My second favourite hunter. What do we like about him? His arrows, with a buff, they're fire dragons shooting at people, cause a significant amount of damage. His banner, when dropped, can either cause damage on an enemy, or when it's dropped near him, increases his attack speed. His slice with his blade, if hit correctly, can stun the enemy. And his ult, similar to Quan Yu, is very effective. He jumps on his horse, run, fire his arrows, and it's very useful to get a kill when somebody's trying to run away. The only thing unlike Quan Yu is that ult is very hard to control. It's just running around and just run. Perfect. He makes sense. He's actually a good hunter. Now, Ho He is the only one on here who I think it might need to deserve to be A tier, but no. But I'm kind of thinking, yes, he does. I tell you what, we'll put him up here for now. We'll come back to Ho He in a mo. Qingwei is another one who I think of the C tier. Her passive basically turns a crossbow into a grenade launcher. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, her square ability. Or her weapon increase. What's it called? Buff. Yep. Her cyclone ability pushes people up into the air. If she jumps into it and uses her dash, she flies a lot quicker. Her passive is very nice. When she spawns into the map, she flies across the map. The problem you have with Wei is her ult, while very damaging, is delayed reaction and doesn't really do that much. You hear her go, incoming! She flies across, shooting things on the floor and then flies away. Usually more used as a runaway ability or to kill minions, but you don't really see her use it in combat. Because you hear it coming, and then you just ever so slightly move to the left and you're fine. But does she make sense as a hunter? Yes. Does she have good abilities? Yes. Does her ult get her killed? No. Medusa is a very close one to being up higher, but when you look at her abilities, she does kind of make sense. A poison-based arrow buff. She spits at you with phlegm and acid. What it might look like. Or venom. Venom would have been the best thing for me to say. Acid. And her runaway ability can be stopped. Because unlike Cernanos, for example, or Onther, or Rama, when they jump through, they can get through. If Medusa latches onto somebody, she can't actually run away. And Medusa's ult is actually counter. You can counter it. She turns you to stone, but if you turn around, she can't. So she's got a lot of cool technical abilities. Does that make her weak? No. Does that make her broken? No. But you do actually tend to see in most games, Medusa being top damage. But with her abilities, she doesn't seem too broken. Because, of course, turn someone to stone, but if they quickly turn around, no, you can't. Xbalanque is my favourite hunter. If it was the old Xbalanque, he would hands down be A tier. But he's not. His Bolo, while it takes a lot of mana away, throw your Bolo with your square ability, splits off and can hit 2 other people. His Poison Arrow, while very effective, is not that much damage, but it is like eensy bits of damage. His jump away ability is probably the second most broken jump away ability as for a hunter. Jump in the air, spin around, shooting your blowgun at people. And then his ult, make the night sky appear, blacks everybody's screen, and yes, done. In his old form, his ult used to be black your screen, and if you were moving when your screen was still black, you would be stunned. Now that was very, very effective use of by a means. Oddly enough, Xbalanque got me my first ever quadra kill. And hunters are my second least favourite role to play, and I was very happy by that. My first ever quadra came from Xbalanque. But does this actually make him broken? The jump away, yes, but the rest of his abilities, no. Sure, he gets a movement speed when he uses his darkness ability, but it doesn't really affect the enemies too much. It's more of an annoyance. It does hit everybody, but does it actually cause damage? No. Does it actually cause any negative debuffs like a stun anymore? No, it just makes your screen dark for a little while. Not the worst thing in the world. A tiers. Now, A tiers, I will have to say, a couple of these may be moved around. Definitely. Because I say hunters are probably the least broken for their role, okay? Right. Apollo! I actually used to hate this guy. I always said he was the worst thing ever. But, before we get into this, I love Apollo now, because he got me my first pentakill. My first and only pentakill. I've been playing this game for 2.5 years, and about 4 months ago I got a pentakill, and I was over the moon. Apollo, thank you. But Apollo, you're a little bit broken. Your stun, it's annoying, but not too broken. You're actually not that stunned for long. His line's pretty fine, and his jump away's pretty decent. The problem with Apollo is his ult. Jump on his chariot and fly across the map. Now, I tested this on a game of Conquest, where I got onto my chariot and I flew all the way to the other end of the map, landed down and caused damage. It does seem a tad bit broken that you can fly all the way across the map. Now, when you think about that out loud and go, yeah, that is very broken, but are the rest of his abilities broken? No, the problem you see with Apollo, which is why he's going down here, is when he lands, he doesn't really have a lot to do in terms of killing lots of people. While he does have some pretty decent abilities, and why usually a lot of the time it is the player, he has a line, a dash, and a stun. Not a hunter isn't like an assassin where they can just jump in and kill 5 people, or a Hades where they can jump in and kill 5 people, or a Zeus, sorry. But no, Apollo is just his ult, and I want to stress this enough that Apollo's ult is very, very stupid and quite ridiculous. But which is also why we'll talk about someone else later. Chiron, another fellow who is only up here because of his ult. Now Chiron is an odd one because his abilities work quite well. He has a area effect, causes damage. He can shoot an arrow up into the air and hit whoever he just hit. His dash is pretty nice, pushing people out the way, all except for Cthulhu. Old video, we must forget. But no, the reason why he's annoying is because in his ult form, he's actually invincible. Similarly to an assassin, who we will never talk about because I don't actually play her, Callie, in their ult, they're actually invincible. Now, unlike Callie, of course, he's invincible. When his ult is done, he can die. If Callie kills somebody, she gets her life back. If Chiron kills somebody, he doesn't get his life back. But being invincible in your ult, does that make you broken? No. His other abilities work quite well. The only thing is to mention is invincibility in his ult. But I just wanted to stress that, as that was a little bit annoying. Unlike Apollo, who is very broken with his ult, Chiron not too much. Cupid will stay on A tier for probably the rest of his life. The poor god of love is staying here. Why? Because he is the only god in this field who has this sort of ability. Unlike Chiron, whose is a passive, who heals his allies near him, Cupid heals his allies with love hearts. So he's technically the only god in the hunter's side who has heal. And now that doesn't make sense. Not lifesteal, heal. Or not even heal for yourself. He can heal his team. Now, I don't know why he needs that. Sure, he's one of the cheapest gods in the game, but I just don't understand why he needs a heal. It doesn't add up. His heart bomb, very nice. His dash is very nice. His ult is very nice. It can stun, it can blow up, it can cause damage. He has everything, the makings of a great hunter. But why does he have a heal? And that is the only reason he's up here, is because I still argue that hunters don't need to have a heal that heal the team. Because they're not in the role of like the carry and the support. The support's job is to help you, the carry's job is to kill the person. But Cupid seems to be able to heal him and his allies with love hearts, and they're on quite a short cooldown. That's why he's up here, and he won't leave until that needs to go. But to be fair, you could just change it to another damage-based ability. So Cupid has more going for him in terms of being a hunter. Or better yet, give him a buff-based ability that he actually can increase his attack speed or whatever Cupid kind of needs. Izanami is up here for the same reason, that she has an ability that no one else has on the hunter's side and why it makes her broken. Her buff, very nice. Throw, cause damage. Her line attack, although very damaging, very, very nice. Her ult, while pretty lackluster and you can miss a lot of the times, and actually doesn't do that much, is very nice. Izanami's on here because she has one of the few things that I don't think I'll understand why the hunters have them, and it's invisibility. Now, for me to argue some hunters deserve to have certain things is fine, but when you have, so for example, no one has Rama's ult, sort of thing, okay? Jumps up in the air, fires arrows, that's fine. No one has something like that because it's not ridiculously stupid. But quite a few gods actually have invisibility. Mages have it, and assassins have it. Sorry. Sorry about that. So, why do hunters need invisibility? Now, what I mean by invisibility is she runs and dives underground, and then she's invisible. I don't know why she doesn't dive underground. It looks like she does, but I don't know why she needs an invisibility. She's already very strong as it is, and she gets an increased movement speed, but why invisible? Because now she just seems to be a stealthy hunter, which doesn't seem to make sense. She has everything that a hunter needs, but just take away the invisibility, because it doesn't make sense. That's fine. Now, Neef is on here because I have to say, Neef is probably one of the most stupid gods in the entire game. Because, sure, she's a starter god, but she is insanely easy to play. Lifesteal, stun, jump, shoot through somebody through the map. What could be more said about Neef? Everybody knows Neef. Everybody's played Neef. She's just simple and boring. You jump up in the air, you leave a little thing on the floor. You hit either your X or your square with that, which is your line and your area. Causes a significant amount of damage. And stuns and roots, and it's just, for me, Neef is just so easy and dull to play. And the easy gods to play, I will be talking about them on other tier lists. But for me, Neef is just so dull. And the only one thing I can say about Neef being nerfed, because I do think she does with her abilities, is her ult doesn't stun. Because her ult shooting somebody across the map and stunning them is annoying in a game of Conquest, but you can't really stop it. But in a 1v1, having a stun that just does that much damage very quickly, or even having a stun for a hunter, is pretty annoying. But shooting somebody across the map, it is a little bit annoying. Not the most annoying, though. She only shoots one person across the map, and you can't really dodge it. We're going to get onto another tier list later about my least favourite god in the game. But not now. Not now. We'll save that for last. Other than that, Neef just seems to be quite dull and simplistic. Does that make her broken? No. While she is dull, simplistic, easy to use, she's not really broken. She's not insanely dull. She's not just like, sorry, I keep saying dull. She's not completely unplayable. She's actually quite fun to play. For a newcomer on the game, she's quite fun to play. But I just think her ult is a little bit over the top. Now then, we come to Skadi. Cupid has a heal. No other hunter has it. Okay. Izanami has invisibility. No other hunter has it. Okay. Skadi has a companion. No other hunter in the game has it. And it's an ally. Like my rant with Goosembo in the last video, Skadi just doesn't make sense. Why she has a companion. That dog is stronger than any other thing in the game except for one thing. And we'll get onto that one later. Skadi just doesn't, for me, really make sense. Why a hunter needs a dog who can actually cause damage as well. And when she uses her ult, that dog causes a lot. Now we'll go over these. She has an ice form ability, which leaves a layer of ice, which if you slide on it, you can't actually physically move, to a degree. While she runs on it, she can dash and get more speed, which is a very cool ability. She throws her javelin at quite high speed. She throws her spear at quite high speeds, causing a substantial amount of damage. Very nice. And her ult can freeze you and cause ticking damage over time. Or lingering damage. That's the word I've been thinking of this whole video. But for me, it's just the dog doesn't make sense. Why have a dog? You have to hit it 5 times to kill it. And if she uses her ult at the same time, she is insanely difficult to counter. So my argument would be, the dog reduce the amount of hits it takes to kill, or don't have it combine with her ult. Because it just doesn't seem very fair. 3 of the gods here all have something that no one else has. And that's what makes them a little bit unfair and a little bit broken. Why they will never leave. Earl, multiple skill ability. I won't go too much into this. I mentioned it about Artio in the last video. I will be mentioning it a lot more on the mages, because there are a lot more mages that have this sort of thing. But let's look at it with Earl. Earl is an odd one because he has bow and physical. He's the only one in the game, of the hunters, who has 2 of something. He has physical abilities and has a bow. While a lot of the time you don't see him being used as a physical, he's more as a hunter, he actually has 6 abilities, and they can all strain to different things. In his axe form, he has a stun, throws his axe at you. He has a movement speed increase, and he has a jump. In his bow form, he shoots 1 arrow from the heavens, or 1 arrow directly up into the air and it comes all the way back down. a attack speed increase, and a line-based shot. Does this make him actually broken? To a degree, yes. Because he has something none of the other hunters have. And that's he has 6 abilities, not 4. Will he leave? No, I'm sorry. Anyone who has multiple skill-based abilities will be up here. And it's just because I always say, looking at it in an ability form, they are unfair. Not going to go too much in that. Now, Ho-He, how he says it, or how why, Ho-He. He is a very peculiar one. He has 2 abilities work very well in tandem. His bird, which he throws onto someone, and then his arrow shot, if it hits the bird, causes damage and stuns them, which is very nice. But if it misses, you still got a... well, it still targets them like a ward. Square ability can ricochet. His arrow can ricochet. For me, I'd say Ho-He has the most overpowered jump for a hunter. Can just jump in the air, fly away. That's his jump. He up in the air, jump. Not like Shibalonke, where Shibalonke jumps, spin, lands somewhere. Ho-He has a whole vicinity of around him where he could jump. And actually can jump over walls, which is something, which is a shame why I can't talk about the assassins, because they are the most annoying for jumping over walls. But we won't, so we won't worry about that. But, overall, Ho-He is quite well balanced. All except for his ult. His ult just doesn't make sense as a hunter. He shoots down arrows from heaven, which come into entry level, and they're 5 times bigger. And they just cause a massive amount of effect on the floor. Now, I only wanted to mention that. I will put him down here, because he does seem to be a well-balanced god. Now, because it just doesn't make sense. You have stun, ward, see you, I can stun you, ricochet, jump, shoot things from heaven. just shoot down things from above. Alright, that's that. Okay? Now, we have no D tier class gods, but we will get onto those shortly. Bum. Heimdallr, Heimdall, or Heimdallr, or the guy from Marvel. I don't know, lots of names. I say how they say it, and he calls himself Heimdallr. Or whatever. Is out doubt the most broken hunter in the game. Within reason. Why? Basic attack is slower than every other hunter. Okay, yeah, but it causes near enough twice as damage. But let's go over to exactly why he doesn't make sense as a hunter and why he's the most broken as a hunter for his abilities. Now, his passive is actually something you have to mention. He can see invisibility, which is pretty annoying. For a small brief of time, he can see invisibility. Okay, fine. He throws up his sword. You can't exactly see where the sword's going to go, but as soon as you see the circle, move out of the way. His horn is very effective. Tick, 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 pushes you all up in the air. Then we come to the 2 problematic abilities. Now, first we'll mention his ult. Doesn't actually make sense as a hunter at all. Playing golf with a god. Bonk, throw them through everything. You throw them through 3 dimensions all at once, and they land back down, of course, giving you time to kill them. For me, that just doesn't seem to add up, because other gods who have that are like Nishar, Kumbragana. They both have that sort of up-in-the-air ability, and King Arthur. But why does a hunter need it? Being one of the only ranged sort of characters, why does a hunter sort of need this thing? It's a very odd thing. But the thing that sets Heimdall, or whatever his name, aside from everyone else is his circle, or his Bifrost. Puts it down at one side of the map, and he can teleport to the other side of the map. No joke, seen it happen. Teleported one side of the map to the Titan and killed the Titan. Titan was low HP. He respawned, we had the DS side, he respawned, teleport, zoop, there, kill Titan. It just doesn't add up. Now, similarly, why I mentioned about Apollo being able to do that, Apollo has the aspect of he has to gradually get there by flying. That's his ult as well. While Heimdall, or yeah, Heimdallir, that's just a circle ability. While it's got a long cooldown, you can reduce the cooldown. And it's just zoom. Of course, with Apollo, you're going to see him coming, while Heimdallir spawning, attack, 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 attack. It just doesn't add up. Why does a hunter need to teleport? But I tell you what, do I want him removed? No, 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 no. Do I want him reworked? Maybe. But why does a hunter need to teleport? A hunter doesn't need to teleport. You know who does need a teleport? A warrior. I think Heimdallir should be a warrior. Just remove his physical attack to an axe attacking people. Simple. Teleport. There's no need to buy the blue relic because already, I can't remember what that thing's called. They always use that in the role of solo. He already has a teleport. He launches people to the 12th dimension, similarly, same as King Arthur does. King Arthur can knock people up in the air. To me, he would make more sense as being a hunter. A warrior. Because the only really ranged ability he has is his throw his sword up in the air and launch it down. While his horn isn't really... It is a little bit of range. You have to be close to get the effect of it. I think Heimdallir would make 100% sense being a warrior. And I'm not even angry by this. I'm just surprised that he's gone this long being a hunter. He doesn't make sense as being a hunter. A warrior, that would be an amazing thing. Because he wouldn't make sense being a warrior. And he can actually join his fellow Norse gods. He can join Odin. He can join Tyr. He can join... He can join Thor. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, my bad. Thor's an assassin. I keep forgetting that. See, I keep thinking Thor's a warrior, because he used to be. But that's a different story. One of these days, Thor will come back. But, that's that. We're all done. Happy as anything, aren't we? There's no more hunters I need to mention. No more hunters at all. No more. That's the overall listings. That's what it's going to permanently stay. Yep. No more, no more. Oh! What's that? What's this? Assassins? That can't be right. Oh, how did I forget? How did I forget about this hunter? Oh, silly me. Oof. Whoa, touch wood here. I think I'm losing it. How the heck could I possibly have forgotten about this hunter? Never mind, let's get into it. Tsukayumi. Wow. High res, quick question for you. He's not an assassin, he's a hunter. Did you mess that up in the coding? You might have got it mixed up in the coding here, because this guy's not an assassin, he's a hunter. I mean, really, I mean, I understand the problem that it's very hard to make a game. And I have massive amount of respect for you. I love the game. But it is very hard for you to accidentally mix up the coding between an assassin and a hunter. But that's completely fine. Oh wait. Oh no, you're actually serious. This guy's an assassin. Oh. Okay, then can I just take him and put him down there then? Okay? No, okay. Right. Tsukayumi 100% should be a hunter. How the hell is he an assassin? This makes zero sense. Alright. Let's look at his abilities. Okay? Throws down some ninja star looking things that slow you down. Okay, that's a ranged based thing. Throws a scythe. Stuns you. Shoots you with 1,000 laser beams. Every single one of his abilities is ranged. None of his abilities are physical. As in, none of them buff him. None of them give him like a Loki ability. Psha! Which is why I'm sad that now that's gone. All of his abilities are ranged. Now for some gods, this might make sense. Because if I look through all the other... Maybe if I look through all of these other assassins, some of them will all have ranged-based abilities as well. Not every single one of them won't possibly be ranged. There has to be one. No. There is not a single assassin in the game who has every ranged ability. I don't know how Tsukayumi, to be honest, is not a hunter. He just makes no sense as being an assassin. When this guy came out, I am now at the point of giving up with Smite. I've loved you for 2.5 years, and I've really enjoyed playing you. PlayStation 5's coming out, and I'm hoping I can bring everything over. But I'm now at the point of going, because the new Hunter's due out soon, and I'm at the point now of going, if this new Hunter that comes out is broken, I don't think I want to play it anymore. Because it's not the concept of, oh, a new Hunter comes out, a new God comes out, oh, they're broken, maybe I can fight against them. But no, you can't. Because it takes 2 weeks for them to come out with a nerf, and if it's like Cthulhu, you need 6 nerfs. Tsukiyumi had, I think, 3, and he's still ridiculous. He doesn't play jungle. If he does play jungle, he decimates the whole lobby. He plays solo. And it's just so annoying to me that how somebody who had every ability range, and then his ult made no sense. Now, true, his ult, they go, oh, wait, but no, he slashes you. No, he shoots you from afar and then teleports to you. That's a teleport. But I just don't understand how they are Himdalia I could accept as a mistake. Maybe he would be more fitted to being a hunter. I mean, being a warrior. Because he would make sense more being a warrior. Tsukiyumi just doesn't make sense as a god. How could you put him as an assassin? Movement speed plus range. Tsukiyumi really broke me when I first played up against him. I was a warrior taking him on, and he decimated me. True to nature, I was Hercules. But no, I just am so surprised. And the only reason he's here is because I do consider him a hunter. Everyone I play with, everyone I know, they all go, oh look, here comes the hunter. Even in a game of Smite, on a casual game of Joust, yeah, Tsukiyumi on the other team, one of the 2 random people I'm with go, oh great, not him again. And we vote surrender because we can't fight him. Some gods can go up against him, some gods can't. But how do you mess that up so badly? I do not generally know. A slow, a stun, range. It just doesn't make sense. So for me, joking aside, he can go down there. I want him gone. Because if he's actually, tell you what, if he's not classed as a hunter, if you can't consider this guy a hunter or broken, yeah, okay. Ignoring the joke of Tsukiyumi, that's the overall tier list. Now, one to be changed due to their abilities. Himdalia, yeah. He does seem a little bit weird to be a hunter. Rama, Shenborg, their ults could be a little bit work. Everyone else is fine, and it's just gods having abilities that no one else has. Cupid having a heal, Izanami having a invisibility, Skadi having a companion, and Earl having multiple skill abilities. But if I ignore some of those abilities, I can actually put these 2 down here. Because while Cupid does have a heal that no one else has, it's unfair to everyone else, but it's still not broken. And Izanami becoming invisible isn't actually broken. It's annoying, but not broken. But having a companion and having multiple skills is a little bit broken. So, that's the hunters in full. Hunters done. No more hunters. Next video will be the warriors. And then after that, we'll move on to the mages. Thank you for watching, and this has been the Smite tier list of hunter abilities / I don't even want to look at you anymore. Bye for now.